told you. There's never... Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's still there, it's still there, it's still there!
Why is it...
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
A baby monitor caught something creepy at 3:33 a.m., a time famously linked to the paranormal, showing a child asleep in their crib when things took an unsettling turn. Even though there isn't much background info on the clip, the timing alone is enough to give anyone the chills. At exactly 3:33 a.m., a baby monitor captured a child suddenly waking up and staring intensely into the dark, as if watching something invisible. The situation turned even creepier when a nearby toy activated on its own, followed immediately by the crib shaking violently without any physical cause. Since the source and context of the video are unknown, the footage remains a chilling, unexplained mystery that hits on every classic trope of a paranormal encounter. In Canton, Ohio, a routine shoplifting detention at a Walmart turned into a violent struggle when 21-year-old Shane Newman suddenly pulled out a handgun while sitting on a bench with a female companion. Hey! No! A store manager and a police officer immediately lunged at him, wrestling the weapon away and successfully taking control of the situation. While police later confirmed that Newman's gun had jammed during the scuffle, his grandparents suggested the incident may have been an attempt at suicide by cop rather than an intent to harm others.
Yes.
Yes, we do, sir, and thank God that didn't happen. It just breaks my heart because Shane is not a person that would hurt anybody except for himself.
Newman, who already had an active arrest warrant, was taken into custody, and Walmart has since praised the heroic actions of their employee for preventing a potential tragedy. Would you like me to look into the specific charges Newman faced following his arrest? The disappearance of 55-year-old Gainor Lord on December 8, 2023 began when she abruptly left her shift at a Norwich department store over an hour early. CCTV captured her hurrying through the city center toward Wensum Park, where her belongings, including her phone, jewelry, and clothing, were later found scattered. After her coat was recovered from the River Wensum, a week-long search ended with the tragic discovery of her body in the water. Senior coroner Jacqueline Lake ultimately ruled the death a misadventure, concluding that while Gainor likely entered the water by her own actions, she did not intend to harm herself. Despite the clear timeline provided by CCTV, the specific reason for her sudden departure from work and her hurried behavior that afternoon remains a haunting mystery for her family and the community. An older couple living on the edge of the Appalachian Mountains in Alabama set up cameras to catch whatever was going after their chickens. One January night, their rooster started panicking, and their security alarms, which only trigger for large objects, went off. When the wife pulled up the live feed on her computer, she saw something that absolutely terrified her.
What is that?
It's probably that coyote.
Right there. What the heck?
Is that that coyote?
No.
That's not a coyote. That's a
Where's the dog?
Wow.
Well, you better go now. So it came back
What the hell? But you see where it's standing?
Yeah, it's looking in the window at you.
It's at our window. What?
It's a good way to get shot in the face.
Oh my God.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
The cameras picked up a pale figure wandering all over the property, appearing on multiple feeds. At one point, it walked right up to the house and stared through a window for a few seconds before getting spooked by a camera movement and bolting into the woods. Since the place is totally isolated in the middle of nowhere with no neighbors or roads, the couple was baffled and posted the clips online. While some people thought it was just a person on drugs, others pointed to the local Appalachian folklore and crawlers, convinced it was a cryptid that lives in the mountains. Back in 1996, Mount Everest turned into a nightmare during a brutal storm season that claimed 12 lives, including what almost became the tragic end of a Texas doctor named Beck Weathers. After getting trapped in a blinding blizzard and losing consciousness, Beck was actually left for dead in the cold for about 18 hours because fellow climbers thought he was a goner. In a literal miracle, he woke up and, despite being nearly blind and frozen solid, stumbled back to camp. The man made it off the mountain alive, but at a heavy price, losing both hands and suffering permanent damage to his face and eyes from the frostbite. Today, that horrific ordeal has been turned into a career as a motivational speaker, sharing one of the wildest survival stories ever recorded. Jacob Abraham shared a video on Reddit of a strange figure he spotted while hiking, which he originally mistook for a bear until its odd movements made him think twice. While he stayed skeptical, a friend convinced him it might actually be Bigfoot, sparking a debate online over whether the footage shows a legendary creature, a person in a suit, or just a bear standing up. Ultimately, the blurry nature of the clip leaves it up to the viewer to decide if it's a genuine encounter or just a simple case of mistaken identity. After months of dealing with a haunted house, Amelia had actually gotten used to the occasional spook and stopped feeling threatened by whatever was hanging around. She'd reached a point where she basically ignored the activity, but that changed when a loud banging started and didn't stop for 4 straight hours. Finally reaching her breaking point, she mustered up the courage to head upstairs and figure out exactly what was making all that noise. The most chilling part was that the curtains stayed bunched up for 2 full seconds, as if someone or something was physically gripping them in place. Amelia's mind immediately jumped to the terrifying image of a demon perched on her windowsill, but she forced herself to use every last bit of courage to pull the fabric back and see what was behind it. In October 2023, 23-year-old Jode Egiluz Diaz was out celebrating a friend's birthday in Antwerp, Belgium, when a fun night turned into a total nightmare. After leaving the club alone and pretty drunk, he was targeted not once, but twice. First, a guy robbed his wallet, and just minutes later, 2 other men jumped him and took his phone. Left injured, disoriented, and with no way to call for help, Jode was last seen wandering near the river, looking completely lost. For nearly 2 years, nobody knew what happened to him until 2015, when workers moving a massive floating swimming pool in the river made the tragic discovery of his body trapped underneath. It's a heartbreaking end to the story, with investigators believing he likely stumbled into the water in a state of confusion after the attacks. A young woman posted some footage that's really messing with people's heads. Apparently, the staff at her uncle's care home is convinced the place is haunted, maybe by a former resident or something even creepier. One night, while a caretaker was working the late shift in a totally quiet building, something happened that left them completely rattled. The woman and her family are totally stumped by what showed up on the video. While her dad thinks it might be the ghost of her grandfather, who actually passed away in that same facility, she isn't buying it. She feels like the activity is way too aggressive to be a family member. But what do you think is going on here? Leah and her family moved into a new house to give their kids a better life. Shortly after, a security camera caught a kitchen drawer opening by itself when no one was around. Leah was terrified, and while her boyfriend initially doubted her, the footage proved she wasn't imagining things. Since they couldn't afford to move again so soon, the family was stuck living in the haunted house. Baby monitors are becoming a staple for parents across the USA, and this footage shows exactly why having eyes on a child at all times is so critical. While these cameras are usually for safety in case of an emergency, they captured a moment here that was truly bizarre. Most people who have seen the clip describe what happened as being completely beyond any normal explanation. While the mother claimed the baby just crawled under the bed on her own, the footage tells a much creepier story, since the child was on her side and clearly struggling to kick away from something. It looked like some kind of entity was hiding under there, trying to grab her, or at least mess with her sleep. And apparently, this wasn't even the first time she'd been pulled under. Even though some people still debate the cause, the way the baby was dragged makes it hard to believe she was just playing hide and seek. Danny Renee, a beloved trauma center worker known for her high energy and great patient care, captured some footage that defies logic. After a patient passed away in one of the clinic rooms, the staff fully cleaned and reset the area, making sure to disconnect every single wire to prepare for the next person. Despite the room being empty and unpowered, something happened on camera that should have been physically impossible under those conditions.
That is crazy. Very.
The monitor displayed a realistic heart rate pattern, as if a patient were still hooked up even though the clinical bed was empty and every wire was disconnected. Confused, Danny called the IT support team to troubleshoot the glitch, but they found absolutely nothing wrong with the machine, suggesting it was accurately reading a signal that shouldn't have been there. It's a bizarre and unsettling event that leaves people wondering why a spirit would interact with medical equipment, whether it was an attempt to scare the staff or a lingering energy from the patient who had just passed away. Sammy has been followed by paranormal activity for 2 years, and while she never felt truly threatened, the constant disturbances finally pushed her to see if she could actually communicate with whatever was there. She decided to run a simple test to see if the spirit would respond to her directly. The results she captured were far more direct and shocking than she ever expected, proving that this wasn't just random noise, but a responsive presence.
Can you move that? No. Can you move that again, please? Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What? Can you do that again? Can you do it again? Oh my god, oh my god.
Sammy was shocked to see the spirit actually move the bottle exactly as she'd asked, which changed her entire perspective on the haunting. Since the entity had never been aggressive and was now showing it could follow directions, she started to wonder if it was actually a helpful presence rather than a threat. This unexpected cooperation made her feel safe enough to decide against trying to banish it, choosing instead to let the spirit stay in her home. While driving through a snowstorm, a witness caught a totally bizarre scene on camera. A lone figure standing perfectly still in a creepy, twisted pose. It felt completely wrong because the weather was miserable and the streets were deserted. Yet, there was this person just chilling in the middle of a blizzard like a frozen statue. The whole vibe was eerie and unsettling, leaving the observer with a major case of the creeps, since the person's posture looked anything but natural. In Broward County, Florida, a group of what appears to be young teenagers, some looking as young as middle schoolers, targeted the Snoopy Smoke Shop in Fort Lauderdale as part of a growing trend of late-night burglaries. After smashing the glass door with a rock, the masked thieves spent less than a minute meticulously shopping for specific vape flavors and cannabis, stealing over $1,000 worth of products while casually walking out with whatever they could carry.
They look like kids. One of them was like really short. He looked like he was in middle school. The other one maybe like beginning of high school or something. They were like hand picking out what flavor vapes that they wanted, and then they grabbed like 2 ounces of our like in-house medical flower and then just wipes his hand on the counter. They were literally just holding whatever they could in their hands. They have to be selling it at school. It's just like, that's the only thing I can think of.
This incident follows 2 similar burglaries in nearby Margate, where thieves used large plastic bins to haul away thousands of dollars in merchandise from other small businesses. Employees expressed frustration over the financial hit, noting the combined cost of stolen inventory and property repairs, while police continue to investigate with no arrests made yet. Faye's family bought a 2-story house without checking its history. While the clip of Faye in her bed seems uneventful, the backstory is reportedly the most intense the channel has ever featured. The incident recorded was so disturbing that it forced the family to finally investigate the property's past.
Oh my god. I'm just gonna oh fuck.
Despite the bargain, Faye's family quickly regretted the move once the footage captured a door swinging open on its own in an empty room. Does a moving door in a house with a history of disappearances suggest the original family never actually left? A deaf content creator known as Deaf Paddler, usually known for his construction and kayak building videos, posted a terrifying clip on March 10th, 2023, while remodeling a house. Though he couldn't hear his surroundings, his visible distress in the footage made it clear that something was seriously wrong as he documented the site. The walkthrough took a dark turn when something happened off camera that was so frightening it sent him sprinting out of the building in fear for his life. While filming in the basement of a house he was renovating, Deaf Paddler captured a chair suddenly sliding directly toward him with unsettling precision. Since he hadn't experienced any issues with the property before, the deliberate movement of the furniture was enough to send him sprinting out in a panic. This single, unexplained event completely changed his perspective on the site, leaving him convinced that something paranormal was lurking in the workspace. A nurse was enjoying a quiet break on her phone in an empty clinic. With no patients in the building, the sudden activity caught on camera seemed like a direct attempt to disrupt her peace. The ceiling tiles in the nurse's clinic began moving almost in unison, prompting her to record the bizarre sight on her phone. To her surprise, the activity didn't stop once the camera was rolling. Instead, the tiles supposedly began shifting at an even faster rate. This aggressive response made the phenomenon even more peculiar, as spirits often seem to shy away from being filmed. Do you think the increased speed was a direct reaction to being recorded, or just a coincidence? Is there a logical explanation, like a ventilation surge, or was this truly something supernatural? A terrifying armed robbery took place at Poke Court, a Pokemon trading card store in New York City's meatpacking district, during a community arts and crafts night. At approximately 6:45 p.m., three masked suspects entered the West 13th Street shop where about 40 customers were gathered. While one man guarded the door and closed the curtains to prevent anyone from leaving, the others used a hammer to smash display cases, stealing over $100,000 worth of high-value collectibles and cash. Surveillance footage captured the suspects pointing handguns at terrified customers and staff who were seen ducking for cover with their hands up before fleeing westbound on 13th Street.
Blocked the door, kind of pointed some guns at some of the customers in the front, told everyone to stay back, came to the thing over here, started smashing with a hammer and just taking things from there. They went around the place trying to take more stuff, stole from the cash register and all of that, pointed at more people, wouldn't let anybody leave, and then they got out in a couple of minutes.
I'm just really glad everyone is safe, right? Like, you know, when you hear people smashing with hammer and branching, you know, literally, when I watched the tape, they were just like pointing right in the faces of my friends, our customers, our community. Luckily, no one was hurt, so I'm very thankful for that. You know, they did steal over $100,000 worth of merchandise.
Although the store had dealt with minor shoplifting in the past due to the surging value of Pokemon cards, owners noted they had never experienced a violent smash and grab of this scale. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, and police are currently searching for the three suspects. Jules Alexis is a mortician who works at her family's funeral home and usually posts social media content to answer questions about the industry. However, during one late-night recording inside the facility, something totally unexpected went down.
Hey you guys, we haven't made a video in a little while, so I just wanted to come on and kind of refresh everybody with just a little mortician tip here. I don't know if everybody's aware. Sometimes they're not aware that in order for the clothing to really fit properly, say it's too big, too small, we have to cut the back of the clothing in order to place it on your loved one. So sometimes if families request the favorite shirt back or, you know, their favorite set of whatever they have on, it will be cut. It's very rare, unless the clothing is perfectly fitted to that person, that the director won't have to cut it. I've worked in several funeral homes where they don't cut it, and it... Is anybody here?
No, what is here?
Who's here?
Time to go.
What?
Time to go.
We're the only ones here. I have to go look.
There's always when you're videotaping.
Okay, let's go.
While Alexis is talking to the camera, a loud shout comes from somewhere in the building, cutting her off. Her son, who is standing right behind her, confirms they are the only ones there. Then, they hear a loud bang. Both of them look pretty creeped out, but Alexis later explained that weird stuff like this happens all the time at the funeral home. So much so that the family is convinced it's haunted. So, did Jules Alexis accidentally catch some paranormal activity on camera? Let me know what you think. Harry and Olivia had been haunted for years, but after saging the whole place, they finally got a full week of peace. They were totally convinced they'd won, and that the nightmare was over, which was a huge mistake. It turns out the entity was just playing the long game, waiting for them to get comfortable before it finally made its move and attacked. Since both dogs and both people were in the same room, there was literally no one else in the house to touch the toy outside. With no signs of a break-in or any visible intruders, they were left with a creepy realization it was either a ghost or someone they couldn't see. Given the history of the house, they're leaning toward the paranormal. While hanging out at home on a chilly UK winter day, someone spotted something wild in the sky and started filming two massive, glowing objects sitting right next to each other. One was obviously the sun, but the second one stayed put even as the camera moved, ruling out a simple lens flare, and it was way too bright to be the moon or a star. Astronomer Jim Kaler weighed in, explaining that this double sun is actually a super rare case of optical refraction, where light bends through different atmospheric layers. Usually these types of mirages show up above or below the sun near the horizon, but Kaler thinks an unusually thick pocket of air must have drifted by to act like a lens, creating a bizarre sideways mirage. Even though it looks like a scene from a sci-fi movie, it turns out to be a strange trick of physics rather than a secret second sun. At a Verijuice store in Ypsilanti, a masked man in a gray hoodie pulled a gun and demanded cash from the register. Fortunately, the employee had already sensed something was wrong and called Ali Hadma, the owner of the hookah shop next door, for help.
The girls from Verijuice called me. She was like, come. I usually go there and help them whenever they need help. Sure. So this time I walked into something I did not know what was going on.
Hadma walked into the robbery mid-process and, acting on pure instinct, confronted the thief with the now viral command, "Put it back."
Hey, put it back. Put it back.
Despite seeing the weapon, Hadma wrestled the gunman to the ground and successfully disarmed him. While the gun was later revealed to be a fake, Hadma noted it felt incredibly real in the heat of the moment.
It was just, get the gun, that was it.
The robber ultimately fled empty-handed, and Hadma has since become a local hero, even leaning into his newfound fame by launching merchandise featuring his "Put it back" catchphrase. In this hospital, a wall clock had been broken for weeks, and because the staff just used their phones, nobody bothered to fix it. That changed when a poltergeist supposedly stepped in to do the job for them. The clock hands began spinning at an unnatural speed, which a staff member caught on video. The most surreal part was that the hands stopped at the exact correct time, making a mechanical glitch seem impossible. The nurse even thanked the spirit for the repair, though she received no response. It appeared the entity was offering a helping hand, rather than trying to cause any fear. TikTok user RWB Auctions posted some 2 a.m. security footage from an empty antique house that definitely gives off an eerie vibe. Since the building was closed to the public at the time, the interior should have been totally deserted, yet the clip immediately captures something that feels seriously wrong. The footage shows an old baby carriage rolling across the floor by itself at the exact moment a hallway light starts flickering, which understandably creeped out the entire sales staff. While some people are convinced a spirit was drawn to the historic item, others point to more grounded causes like building vibrations or electrical glitches. Regardless of the cause, the timing of both events makes it hard to ignore, and it's definitely the kind of eerie activity that would make anyone dread pulling an after-hours shift in that house. A high-stakes police chase spanning several cities in Ohio ended in a fatal shooting after 37-year-old John Johnson took a mother of 4 hostage at gunpoint. The ordeal began on a Wednesday afternoon in Elyria, where Johnson robbed a Brinks truck driver at an AT&T store before leading officers on a dangerous pursuit reaching speeds over 100 miles per hour.
The suspect showed no regard for the safety of motorists or pedestrians in the area traveling at speeds over 100 miles an hour.
After police disabled his vehicle with spike strips in North Olmsted, Johnson fled into an apartment complex and grabbed a random woman, an event caught in a chilling Ring doorbell video.
Go, one house.
Officers ultimately shot and killed Johnson to protect the woman and her children.
Innocent civilian who happened to be wrong place, wrong time. Suspect saw an opportunity to use her and her children as a hostage.
A move the Elyria chief of police described as a heroic act that prevented further harm to innocent civilians. Knocking is one of the most common ways spirits mess with people, though the reason remains a mystery. It might be because humans are naturally wired to respond to the sound of a door, making it an easy way to grab attention. In this case, a spirit used that exact strategy to terrify a man named Kenny, leading to a situation that quickly spiraled out of control.
You banging on my door here, what the Who's there? Who's there? What? Who's there? Who? What the? Holy creeps me out, man. What the?
Kenny opened the door to find nobody there, initially blaming local teenagers playing Ding Dong Ditch. However, his theory shifted after he reviewed his own footage. When he opened the door, the camera captured the distinct, clear voice of a little girl. This evidence completely changed his perspective on the encounter, leaving him baffled about what actually happened that night. Rafael Ferpa is a Brazilian urban explorer who hits up abandoned spots for his YouTube channel. After one specific trip to an old house, he got the feeling that something actually followed him back. He was so sure a ghost had latched onto him that he put up a security camera at his place to catch proof. One night while the house was empty, the camera recorded something that pushed him over the edge. He's now convinced it's supernatural. The fridge door suddenly swings wide open all by itself. Then the gas stovetop turns on, and a chair slides across the floor like something invisible pushed it. But the scariest part is a blurry shape that looks like a figure darting across the room. Raphael is convinced he caught a real poltergeist on camera, a spirit that followed him home from an abandoned house just to mess with him. On August 22nd, 2022, a TikTok video surfaced that unsettled many viewers. It was filmed behind a hospital, a spot a local man frequently visited because he found it relaxing. This time, he brought his dog along for company and protection. He didn't realize that whatever was about to disturb them wouldn't be something he or his dog could physically stop. A wheelchair suddenly began rolling across the hospital grounds as if someone were sitting in it, despite being empty. Many viewers suspect the spirit of an elderly patient who passed away in the hospital was using the chair to try to find its way back home. While that remains a theory, the way the chair moved suggested a deliberate path rather than just a random roll. Do you think objects like wheelchairs retain some kind of energy from the people who use them the most? Jackson was downstairs alone, a detail that becomes crucial for what happened next. His family lived a quiet life, and their home was filled with religious symbols like holy books and crosses, as he and his fiancée were devout believers. They felt their house was spiritually protected, but that sense of security was about to be shattered by an event so intense they likely would have prayed for intervention if they'd seen it coming.
Alright, so that right there is my basement door, right? I'm downstairs by myself. It's like 4:53 in the morning, and I just started hearing that. I have no idea what it is, but I'm down here by myself. Everybody's sleeping, just me. Ain't the first time I heard it.
Jackson was home alone when a frantic banging started at the basement door. Even as he filmed, the knocking didn't let up, making it seem like something was desperate to get out. The noise finally stopped when his family arrived home, acting as a sort of good omen that ended the tension. However, that relief was only temporary. The next time he was left alone, things took a much darker turn.
Alright, so I was hearing that knocking again, right? Except this time it's coming from that wall right there, which is my downstairs bathroom. And after a while, I started hearing tapping on the bathroom door as well. So, what else? Record. See if anything else happens. I mean, I'm here to show. Oh yeah, that's never happened before. Now I have to go check it out, otherwise you guys are going to be like, oh, it's probably somebody in there. Let's go see. I'll show you guys right now. Ain't nobody in this one right here. And it is empty. Yeah, no, that one was weird. That's never actually happened before. That's new, at least.
This time, the activity moved to the bathroom, which was baffling since the basement door had never been opened. It seemed like whatever was trapped down there didn't need a door to get out. It now had free reign of the entire house. Jackson realized he had to take action to stop it before things escalated further. In this video, a Christian man named Chief documented his paranormal experiences. Ever since the solar eclipse, he had been hearing intense knocking coming from the same door, and in this clip, he tries to confront it.
This shit has been tripping me out. It's been doing this since the solar eclipse, I would say. And I don't really believe in ghosts. But this shit really with me. Look at this. It just stops. There ain't nothing going on. Look. What the f? What the actual f? Bro, there's no way. Wait, I'm gonna leave the light on. What the It's really freaking me out, y'all. If you've ever seen anything like this before, please let me know. Alright, so I've been taking some of you guys' advice. I got my holy water right here. I'm gonna insert the holy water into my water. Alright. And I got I'll just put it in the thing. I got the cross like you guys said, dude. I didn't really have any real wood, but see, the thing is, I don't even know if I'm actually hitting my op. Like, I feel like it's coming from over here. It don't do it when the door is closed. Like, it does not do it. I look stupid as f. Oh my God. I need to get up.
Despite clearing the room, Chief found nobody behind the door. He turned to Snapchat for advice, and his friends suggested a bizarre plan: fill a water gun with holy water and strap pencils to it in the shape of a cross. Chief actually tried it, shooting the ghost in the bathroom. Instead of stopping the activity, the banging got even louder. Many believe the holy water just made the entity angry.
Y'all see it though, right? Y'all see that though, right?
Chief tried to stop the noise by bolting the door to the wall, but it didn't work. The ghost just started knocking from the outside instead of the inside. Eventually, the experience became so intense that Chief had to move out. Luckily, the spirit didn't follow him to his new home. The YouTube channel Carolina Case Files spends its time digging into weird, unexplained stuff happening across the Carolinas. Everything from interviewing locals to researching urban legends. Recently, someone anonymously sent them some night vision security footage, but the only detail the channel owners have is that it was filmed in Deep Run, North Carolina. A pale, skeletal-looking figure is caught on camera crawling past on all fours. People in the comments from North Carolina are claiming they've seen the same thing, with some calling it a rake, and others labeling it a crawler. The team at Carolina Case Files is still digging into it, hoping the person who sent the video anonymously will provide more details. For the time being, they're just left with this creepy footage and the very real possibility that something unexplainable is hiding in the deep-run woods. Jorge is dealing with a poltergeist that has shifted from haunting his house to attaching itself to him personally. Because the entity follows him everywhere, moving out of his home has become a pointless solution. At home, a shadow figure was recorded wandering outside his bedroom before passing through the walls into the kitchen. Once inside, it began throwing chairs, opening cabinets, and tossing items out of drawers while Jorge slept. The haunting followed him to his night shift job at a store. While working alone, the same shadow figure was caught on camera moving through the aisles and knocking over merchandise. One specific item it threw was a smiley face puppet that appeared to be Jorge's personal property.
Guys, there is screaming outside of my bedroom. And I tried turning the light on. But there's no light. So, whatever it is, it literally took my light. Oh, God. I was just simply laying in bed. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I ask you to please bless me. Please protect me. Protect me over everything. Jesus, Lord. Lord, please, I ask you for protection from the angels, my Lord. Please send your angels down. Protect me from all demons. Lord, please protect me from all demons and everything that's in my house, Lord. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I ask you to leave this house now. I ask you to leave my home now. Yeah, I'm going to bed. Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple magic shows I gotta do in the morning. Yeah. Ugh. I gotta clean this house too, so I have a huge mess. Yeah. Good night. I'll talk to you. Bye-bye.
If a spirit is attached to a person's soul or energy, can a traditional house blessing even work? Dan was having a great time catching up on his favorite show, finally reaching the series finale. He was about 30 minutes into the last episode and loving every second of it when something completely derailed his night. At the time, he had no clue that his relaxing evening was about to be ruined by something he couldn't explain.
Fish. C'est quoi ce délire? Wesh. C'est quoi ce délire?
Dan caught everything on camera to prove there was zero outside interference. He panned the room to show he was completely alone, and the footage was convincing enough that people actually believed him. Afterward, he even did an interview where he was more annoyed than scared, mostly because the ghost ruined the series finale he was so invested in. Two women were having a sleepover while one of their boyfriends was at a bachelor party. They were hanging out and gossiping when things got weird. Jess, wearing a black jacket, claimed she saw something in the closet. Abby, who was filming, tried to reassure her that it was nothing, so they decided to investigate.
Girl, there ain't nothing back there, I'm telling you.
The light just went off.
Nothing back there, right?
There's nobody back here.
I told you. There's never. Oh my god! 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 Oh my god!
Jess checked the closet but found nothing, making Abby think she was just imagining things. That changed instantly when the lights cut out, sending Jess running back in terror. Abby locked the closet and told her boyfriend never to open it. He thought she was crazy, but agreed to leave it alone. The spirit wasn't trapped though. The next night at 9 p.m., after Abby brought her son home from football, the ghost appeared again, and this time it was much worse.
Which is strange because I don't remember leaving it on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't leave it on. Come on. Listen, I'm gonna walk inside real fast. I want you to wait out here for me.
I'll stay right by the door.
Yeah, I want you. Oh my god. Somebody broke a door. Yeah. I don't know.
Mom, go.
Oh,
That's definitely
Jaden, yeah, it is. Go next door. Go next door and get your IC, okay? If you hear me scream, y'all hear me scream, call 911.
Okay.
Okay?
When Abby pulled up to the house, she immediately noticed a light was on, even though she always turned them off before leaving. Her son tried to convince her she'd just forgotten, but then a figure walked past the window. Abby rushed her son to the neighbor's house and went back to investigate. Unsurprisingly, she found the house empty. Two friends got home from a night out, and one of them headed straight upstairs. Sophia, the older of the two, stayed downstairs by herself. Around 3 a.m., she was about to call it a night, but as she closed the kitchen door, she realized they weren't the only ones in the house.
Okay, there's nobody here, right? Nobody here. What is that? Because it is not me. This is me leaving, closing the door. What's that? And here comes the door back opening. And nobody's there. But yet. Hi.
A mirror caught a second person standing right in front of Sophia, but when she looked away from the glass, the space was empty. The figure only showed up in the reflection. Sophia thinks it was her old friend Lexi, who passed away in a car crash a year ago. Since Lexi was always part of their group, it felt like she was just joining them for one last night out. Still, it freaked Sophia out enough that she and her friend ended up sleeping in the same room that night. John Gregson had been hearing weird noises from his basement for months and finally decided to check it out. When the family first moved in, he turned that space into a playroom for his daughter. She used to love it, but lately, she's been avoiding the room. John couldn't tell if she was just outgrowing her toys or if something creepier was going on down there.
Oh my. What are you doing there? Who are you?
I got you good.
Oh, yes, you did. Oh, you got my heart good.
John left the playroom thinking his daughter had just pranked him, but then the lights cut out and a globe literally jumped across the stairs. Since he was alone, there was no logical way that should have happened. When he posted the video online, people started suggesting something even darker, that his daughter might have been possessed when she claimed she was tricking him. That freaked John out so much that he took the whole family to get baptized. It seems to have worked though, because they haven't seen any paranormal activity since. Ghost hunting is a job for the bold, and Ihan is one of those people. In this specific footage from one of his hunts, he managed to capture something rare, a spirit actually talking back to him.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. في حد هون؟ أحلى إشي. صابني صداع. الصداع هذا أذى لي عيوني. بالطاقة. والله مغامرة، موقع حلو. الله يسعد مساكم واستودعكم الله. مش قادر أتأخر الصراحة أكثر من هيك يعني. وترقبوني في مواقع جديدة. حلوت. خلوني يحلو.
The deep red lighting in the room dialed the tension up to a maximum, making the environment look as hostile as it felt. Against that eerie backdrop, Ian captured something truly remarkable. The combination of the heavy atmosphere and the clear audio made this one of the most unsettling moments of his career. A man had just gotten home after a long, exhausting shift at work. He was completely drained and definitely wasn't in the mood for any weirdness, but his living room camera captured something he really didn't need to deal with.
Hello? Hello? Keep hearing weird noises in the basement, Steve, so I just want to... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No way, oh my god, oh my god. See, bro, there's nothing on the door. Hello? Yep, Dad, I'm not going down.
John's son, Steve, tried to warn him about weird noises in the basement, but John wasn't buying it until a rhythmic knocking started coming from the door. It sounded like someone was trapped and wanted out. Since it was just the two of them in the house, there was no logical way anyone should have been on the other side of that door. Then, the door slowly swung wide open. John even filmed the frame to show there were no strings or tricks involved. The next day, it happened again.
More noises. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa!
A head-like object peeked around the wall at John, which completely freaked him out. He immediately ran into the room it came from, but just like before, it was empty. At first, John tried to convince himself he was just seeing things, but that skepticism didn't last long. Later that same night, after finishing up for the evening and getting ready for bed, he brushed his teeth and said goodnight to Steve. Then, he heard those noises coming from the basement again, and saw something he definitely wasn't prepared for.
What's the matter, buddy? What's the matter, bud? What's the matter, big guy? Huh? Something down there. Oh. What'd you hear, buddy? Just put this on. What's that?
John opened the door and caught a white phantom gliding down the stairs so fast it seemed to be avoiding him. Suddenly brave, he headed into the basement to investigate, only to hear the creepy sound of a little girl's laughter echoing through the room. That was the moment John finally accepted the house was haunted, but instead of doing the smart thing and getting out or blessing the place, he did something pretty reckless. He woke up his son, and the two of them planned to lock themselves inside the basement to see what would happen.
It's down here. We got it. You smell that? Anything? There's a bunch of broken glass everywhere. Okay, we're gonna go. You go this way too. Stay close to me. Dude, stop, stay by me. It was glass. Don't move. I know. God, you smell that. Did you fart? It's super cold down here too. It's winter time. Cover, stop.
After tying the door shut with black rope, John and Steve cautiously headed down into the basement while the faint sound of a girl laughing still echoed. Slowly, that laughter morphed into something much creepier, the sound of a woman crying. Many people think this was the mother of the laughing girl, and that they might be haunting the house together. While stuck in the basement, John and Steve watched the lights cut out and saw objects moving on their own, but the scariest sighting of all didn't happen until the very end.
All right, we're gonna make a run for it.
Traps us, you were dying first.
It's gonna just go. Hold on. Oh God, what? No. We gotta get out of it. What are we gonna do? No, stop, man.
You locked us in.
We're gonna go. No. We make a break. There's nothing there. Stay by me. Stay right behind me. This is a bad idea. Just chill out. It's still there.
Why is it?
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
You got your phone?
No.
When the two finally made the smart call to leave the basement, a tall black figure appeared and blocked their exit. They naturally panicked and backed away, but when they looked again, it hadn't budged. To make matters even creepier, there was a hidden detail in the room, a pair of eyes staring at John and Steve from the shadows. Whether this was just a squatter or a restless spirit is still up for debate. This TikTok clip went viral because it captures what looks like a real-life glitch. A woman is standing alone in an elevator, and as the camera rolls without any obvious cuts, her face and hairline start morphing in a way that just isn't natural. By the time the elevator stops, her features have shifted so much that a man is standing in her place, wearing the same clothes. Even though analysts have poked at the footage, they haven't been able to find a clear break or edit, leaving everyone stuck between two theories. It's either some top-tier digital editing or something totally unexplainable. Robert lived alone, but frequently had family over, though he was the only one home when this happened. He was having a hard time falling asleep, so he headed downstairs to play his guitar for a bit before bed. It turns out something else in the house had the same idea, because what happened next was a total shock.
So I couldn't sleep because I felt like something was watching me. You ever felt like that? I'm all alone. I come out here to play my guitar because I can't sleep. So I look over here at this thing because I feel like it's freaking watching me. And I could have swore I seen it move. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking. That's that bull right there. Oh, hell no. I'm done with it. That thing's going in the dump right now. Well, I got something for that. Yeah, I got something for that right now.
Robert started the video by explaining that he felt like he was being watched by a teddy bear sitting in a box. It sounds wild, but right as he was telling the story, the bear actually moved again on camera to prove it. Freaked out, Robert did the smart thing and tossed the bear in the trash. Since no one believed him, he actually went to get his mental health checked out, but he was cleared with no issues. Even after showing his family the footage he caught, they're still skeptical about the whole thing to this day. A young guy camping solo deep in the wilderness was filming himself cooking over a stove when his camera caught something chilling. A pale face with dark, hollow eyes peeked into his tent from the outside, only to vanish the moment it seemed to realize it was spotted. Though he stepped outside to investigate the darkness, he found absolutely nothing there. After he shared the clip online, people were split. Some were convinced it was a wilderness spirit, while others wondered if it was the ghost of a relative just checking in. Is it a ghost or something else? Reddit user Neptune11 posted a video to the alien subreddit that captures a mysterious object hovering over Edinburgh, which immediately grabs your attention. The footage gets straight to the point, showing a strange shape in the sky that only gets more suspicious as the clip plays out. This 25-second clip features a rotating, multicolored orb flickering over Edinburgh, leaving viewers divided on whether it's a real UFO or just a clever hoax. Since the footage might be 20 years old and shows the light moving with purpose rather than drifting like a balloon, it has gained significant traction online despite the lack of context. While skeptics lean toward man-made light sources or digital manipulation, the silent, glowing display remains an eerie mystery for anyone looking up at the night sky. One morning in Malaga, Spain, a guy walked onto his patio only to find his lamppost had been sliced clean in half. When he pulled up his security footage to see what happened, he caught something even weirder. Right at the second, the post breaks. A glowing orb of light flies across the yard and zips right past it. It's left everyone wondering if the orb was just a random camera glitch or if it was actually some kind of high-speed something that cut the metal like butter. Either way, there's no clear explanation for what that light was or how it did that much damage. In 2014, a family was hanging out in their living room. just minding their own business. It was their youngest daughter's birthday, and she was already a bit upset because she'd finished opening all her presents. However, the mood was about to shift from a birthday tantrum to something much more intense.
I think I can see it on here. Hold on. Now it's stopped. Oh, wait, there it is. See if she moves. There it is.
The doll moved in an eerie way, tilting its head to the left as if it were trying to get a better look at the man. This was especially unexplainable because the box had been taped shut specifically to make sure nothing could touch the doll or cause it to move. Convinced the doll was possessed, the owner added even more tape to the box. But strangely, he wasn't that freaked out. Instead, he decided to film a close-up video a day later to show everyone exactly what the doll looked like and explain the situation.
I got her about 2 years ago at a thrift store. There were 3 of them, and for whatever reason, she was very far away from the other ones. And for some reason, I just really wanted this one. She's very cool. I really love the Jester style. It's cool. I don't know if she's ever been opened, but I've never opened the box. It's taped closed. And yeah, I just left her there. It's kind of cool.
When the man first bought the doll, it was sitting all by itself away from the others, which felt suspicious since most stores keep similar items together. It's even been suggested that the doll might have moved to the other side of the store on its own, especially since it had already shown what it could do on camera. From that point on, the doll was found in a different position every single morning, but the man stayed totally unfazed and made sure it kept its spot on the same shelf. A family ditched their home at a massive discount after just a year because they couldn't handle the constant weirdness happening inside. Only 3 months into moving in, the new owner's son started hearing strange noises coming from somewhere in the house, suggesting that whatever drove the previous tenants out hadn't actually left.
Okay, I was sitting here playing New Vegas because Noah and his dad went out to clean their clothes, and I don't like clothes. I was sitting here and I started hearing all these noises. I think there's a ghost in here. I'm not scaring the hell out of me. So I'm gonna ask it some questions to see if it's here anywhere. Okay, here we go. Is there anyone here? Why are you here? Do you want to hurt me? Yeah, there's something. That came from Noah's room. What the? You see that? What the? Hey, why are you moving that paper? Why are you moving the newspaper?
As he began questioning the entity, a loud thud startled him just before a newspaper started floating as if moved by an invisible force. Terrified, he decided to check his brother's room, but the encounter there went poorly, suggesting the activity was escalating.
Why are you in Noah's room? What's so special about in here? I think it's in his room. God damn it!
Upon entering the room, the door slammed shut on its own, and a bag was violently shoved across the space, causing him to flee in terror. Despite the scare, he remained determined to document the activities and returned the very next day to film again.
So this time I will be prepared, so I won't freak out or cuss as much. So, okay, yeah, it's still here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, maybe we'll be over there again. What are you? Do you want to hurt me? What do you want to do to me? Okay. Probably. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Objects began falling on their own, and a kitchen drawer slid open, but the situation peaked with a terrifying, otherworldly scream captured at the end of the clip. There have been no updates since that video, leading many to speculate that the new owners fled and sold the house just like the previous family did. Whether it's a genuine haunting that drove two families away, or just a very well-staged hoax, remains a mystery. James Talbert was working the graveyard shift as a security officer at a mall, mostly sticking to the stairwells to keep out any late-night trespassers. It was around 1 a.m., a time when things are usually dead quiet, and James was busy recording content for his YouTube channel. He's lucky he had that habit, because if he hadn't been filming, he never would have captured what happened next.
Man, I've been clocked in 8 minutes. Hey! Hey! I'm not finna go check. I'm not going down there. Oh, goddamn, the door locked. Oh. Damn. If it is somebody down there, gonna stay their goddamn ass down there. I'm not going. Hurry up and get up these bitches.
Footsteps suddenly echoed from the bottom of the stairs, prompting James to call out to whoever was there. When he got no response, an intense, unusual wave of dread hit him, and instead of investigating, he bolted. He sprinted down a hallway and ducked into a side room to hide. But the situation turned terrifying when a faint whisper came from right inside that same room.
Hey, somebody in here with me. I'm up here doing this damn job. These folks want me to do all this walking in the dark. I'm not walking down there no mother. Hey. Hey. Not coming there, man. Somebody is down there with me. Somebody in here with me. When I got this job, I told them I don't do things like this. And I got my camera on. You can go if you just come out. I'll let you go free. But don't try to just pop out on me. You know what I'm saying? Skirt me, make all on myself on the job. Come on now. Come on now. I'm just trying to get my goddamn hours and go home now. He gonna act like he don't hear me. You know you back there. Come on. I'm not finna. I'm telling y'all, I'm finna go. And the clock, I'm going this way.
James started pleading with the potential intruder to just show themselves, even promising to let them walk away without any trouble. When the silence continued, he stood there for a moment, weighing the options. Ultimately, gut instinct beat out professional duties. He packed up his gear, locked the place up, and clocked out early. While he fully expected to hear about a massive break-in the next morning, the mall was actually untouched. It leaves one wondering if he was just losing it, or if something truly unexplainable was lurking in those halls. A guy and his roommate recently shared a video on Reddit that has people seriously on edge. After hearing bizarre noises coming from the kitchen in the middle of the night, he grabbed his phone to investigate. What he caught on camera was apparently so disturbing that it gave him nightmares for weeks.
Una rata, boludo. Una botella, boludo. Hay que poner una rata, boludo. Ay, la concha.
The two roommates were terrified as a blood-curdling scream erupted from the kitchen, mixed with the loud clatter of moving plates and silverware. At first, they thought they were dealing with a dangerous intruder, but the situation turned out to be something much more sinister than a simple break-in. A creepy, terrifying face was caught peeking around a corner from a super low angle, making the whole scene even more unsettling. It's hard to tell if the roommates were dealing with a spirit attached to their new house, or just a random person hiding in the shadows. The footage leaves it totally up in the air, but the bizarre positioning of the face has people questioning what was actually lurking there that night. Hotel security guard Simon Lockhart, working at a notoriously haunted location, decided to investigate a strange noise coming from the attic during his shift. Given the hotel's reputation for paranormal activity, his late-night check took an unsettling turn that was captured on camera.
I'm over at the restaurant right now that's connected to our hotel. The door's been wide open, and they said they've seen lights going on and off in here. This is the attic area. Very, very narrow stairs, and I just smashed my head on this freaking pipe. Hello? Oh my. There's no one here. There's no one here. Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay. I'm out. Okay. Just leave me alone.
Simon was hospitalized after a fall in the attic, claiming that an invisible force tugged on his shirt and a clear voice spoke to him the moment he entered. While some believe a spirit was reacting to his presence, the incident remains unconfirmed, even as guests and staff continue to report strange activity at the hotel. Despite the injury, Simon stands by his experience, adding another chilling chapter to the building's haunted reputation. The Norwich State Hospital in Connecticut actually had a surprisingly clean record regarding paranormal activity, until a group of friends decided to test that reputation. They headed into an abandoned section at 2 o'clock in the morning, specifically looking for proof of a haunting. By the end of their visit, the man filming confessed he'd never felt a level of terror like that before, claiming he couldn't sleep for days afterward.
That's not my phone. That's not my phone. You heard that, right? I don't know. You heard that. Dude, I swear. Dude, I swear to God it wasn't me. Oh my God, look at that.
The group heard a woman's voice, which was creepy since they were all men. They figured it was just a prank until the camera caught a lanky white figure peeking through a hole in the wall. As soon as it saw the camera, it ducked away. A pretty terrifying catch of a real apparition. A former school employee named Brina shared some creepy security footage on TikTok after kids started complaining about a creature in the play area. The video actually shows toys moving around by themselves, one after another, which was enough to freak out the students so much that some refused to come back. Brina ended up quitting shortly after, admitting the school just didn't feel safe anymore. On November 30th, 2020, a man named Wynn decided to finally put an end to a saga that had been haunting him for months. After dealing with non-stop paranormal activity in his house, he figured it was time to record everything and show the world what was really going on. He had no idea that pulling out the camera would actually trigger the spirit to get even more aggressive.
But this is on repeat. This happens over and over. And then the knocking happens. The knocking. There it is. And it just goes and goes until you tell it to stop. Can you stop, please? It's just right there. That's new. Okay. Whatever you are, you gotta go. And that's... Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
In the video, Wyatt claimed that ghosts passing the door and loud knocking were just regular occurrences in his house, so he didn't seem that rattled. Having the camera out actually gave him a boost of bravery, leading him to follow the spirit into a small room where he found a chair spinning on its own, something he hadn't seen before. The situation took a dark turn when he stepped closer to investigate. The door behind him slammed shut, trapping him inside with whatever was in there. That was enough to finally break his composure, and he ended the recording right then and there without ever giving another update. During a nighttime traffic stop, a police body cam caught something bizarre while the driver, Joe Collian, was being tested for sobriety. Even though Joe turned out to be sober, the footage shows a dark, human-like shape sprinting across the background at a crazy speed. It's gone in a flash, and because nobody on the scene even noticed it at the time, the recording is the only proof that something strange was actually there. On January 14th, 2026, a Reddit user named Wreckfulness was live streaming a nighttime drive through Pflugerville, Texas, when a normal trip took a weird turn. Around 9:46 p.m., a mysterious object suddenly popped up in the sky right in front of his car, caught perfectly on camera for his audience to see. It's a pretty compelling clip since it happened in real time during a casual stream rather than being a staged recording.
What the absolute am I looking at right now? What the hell? Holy... Are you okay? No, dude. What is that, chat?
Let me go to your frame.
What the f... Oh my god, I think it's the end. I think it's the end. I've never seen that in my life. Oh my god. What, bro, what the f is that?
Oh my gosh.
What? I don't know. They're too far apart to be planes.
They're not a tower?
No. Oh my god. One of the lights is disappearing. The light is disappearing.
What the hell? What the hell?
What the hell? What? Oh, it's gone. The light's gone. It's gone. It just went away. They're separating. Bro, what the hell? Call the news. I think I'm the only person seeing this right now. There's no way. Look at that. What is going on?
A cluster of bright lights caught the uploader's eye before they began to split apart and move independently in the night sky. The fact that this happened during a continuous broadcast with no cuts has given the footage extra credibility among UFO enthusiasts, as the lights didn't behave like standard aircraft. While skeptics argue it could just be a coordinated drone display or specific aerial lights, the way they reposition themselves in real time has left many viewers questioning if they witnessed something truly otherworldly. The Tell Me Your Ghost Story podcast recently shared a listener's account that has everyone completely creeped out. Years ago, the storyteller's two daughters were playing in the bathroom of their 135-year-old family home, a place already known for weird occurrences. While the mom was lying in bed, she snapped a quick photo of the girls, thinking nothing of it at the time. It wasn't until she posted the picture to her Instagram stories that her sister spotted something deeply disturbing in the background.
Years ago, my daughters were playing in the bathroom. I was laying in my bed and I snapped this photo. I posted it to my Instagram stories and my sister replied, "Who is that old woman in the photo?" I zoomed in and saw her. She is definitely not my daughter. We live in a 135-year-old house, so we have crazy things happen all the time, but this was the first time we caught it on camera.
The image captures the two little girls standing right in front of the bathroom mirror, but the reflection shows the face of an elderly woman looking back. According to the mother, it was just her and her daughters in the house that day, making the presence impossible. The face in the glass is strangely clear and unmistakable, yet no one knows who she is. This photo might just be the most undeniable proof they've ever caught that they aren't actually alone in that 135-year-old house. In a rural London CCTV clip shared by Ian Chandler, a fox is caught on camera casually trotting along a wooden fence before it literally vanishes into thin air. There isn't a glitch, a skip in the footage, or any visible hole in the wood. 1 second the animal is there, and the next frame, it's just gone while the fence stays the same. Since the video doesn't show the fox jumping or turning around, it leaves viewers totally stumped as to how a solid creature could just blink out of existence like that. In 2021, a man named Danny Lee from Kent, UK, began hearing bizarre nighttime noises outside his house. Even though he never saw anything when he checked, several neighbors confirmed they'd heard the same sounds, though they were just as clueless about the source. Danny eventually set up a street-facing security camera to solve the mystery, and one night, it recorded something he never could have anticipated. A white, misty object suddenly appears in the middle of the quiet street. Danny is convinced it's a UFO or some kind of alien craft, but when he showed his neighbors, they thought it looked more like a ghost. The debate is still going on, and the strange noises haven't stopped. Whatever Danny's camera caught that night, it's apparently still out there. On December 20th, 2024, Mario was cleaning his apartment to prove to his girlfriend that he wasn't a slob. After an hour of vacuuming the whole place, including her room, he moved to the living room, where things suddenly got creepy. The speaker and the vacuum suddenly fell on their own, which completely rattled Mario. He stood there in shock for about 10 minutes before calling his girlfriend to tell her what happened. Was it a ghost or just bad luck? Ali Valencia, a woman from Mexico who had been documenting her younger sister's brave battle with cancer, shared a heartbreaking update after her sister passed away. While the family was gathered for a memorial to honor her memory, something unexpected occurred in the middle of the morning. Ali immediately grabbed her phone to capture the moment, filming a scene that would soon go viral and touch people all over the world. During the memorial, a balloon began drifting with unusual precision, moving directly toward Ali's younger brother. Instead of passing by, it leaned in toward him as if delivering a final hug or a silent goodbye. Just as the family processed this emotional moment, something else occurred that caught the brother completely off guard. The brother suddenly jolted forward as if he felt a physical touch on his back, leaving him visibly startled. Online viewers were deeply moved, interpreting the moment as a final gesture of comfort and a gentle reminder that the bond of love remains even after someone is gone. TikToker Georgie Guju posted a creepy throwback photo from a childhood visit to an old building that still gives her the chills, despite her being a skeptic about the paranormal. In the shot, her flashlight beam hits a surface and creates a bright glare, but right in the middle of that reflection are two distinct shapes that look exactly like a pair of eyes staring back. While plenty of people chalk it up to a simple case of pareidolia, where the brain just tries to make sense of random light patterns, others are convinced she wasn't actually alone in the dark that that night. Since the photo is a bit blurry, it's impossible to prove if it's just a weird optical illusion or something much more unsettling. Two ghost hunters from Indiana, Guy Winters and Terry Lambert, decided to check out an old abandoned mansion after hearing local rumors about a spectral woman wandering the nearby road. During a stormy winter investigation, Terry snapped a series of photos and caught something that totally defied explanation: a glowing pink figure of a woman staring directly out of an upstairs window. Even after professional analysts confirmed the film hadn't been messed with, the duo could never catch her on camera again, though they eventually found the name Irene O'Hare scrawled on a wall and figured it was her spirit. The house has since been torn down and replaced by a cornfield, but those eerie, unexplainable photos of the Pink Lady still circulate as one of the most famous pieces of paranormal evidence out there. While three friends were hanging out, the host decided to test out a new camera by filming her guests. What began as a casual, light-hearted gathering quickly turned disturbing when the lens captured something unsettling that the group hadn't noticed in person.
Hey. Hola. Sí, su boluda, me gusta. Hola. Qué divina tu cámara. ¿Te gusta? Mía, boluda. A nadie me regaló. Me regaló mi mamá. Ay, comiste tu hija de puta. Tenía hambre. Escucha, trámate un nombre. Hace mate. Dale, dale. Mira. Aguanta que todo. No usa. Ahí está. Ajá. Dale. Te compraste no te usa. Escucha, ¿qué pasó con Gaby? Te cuento lo que pasó. Gaby tuvo un accidente. ¿Qué le pasó? Chocó con la moto. Con la moto del papá. No. No, dale, eso está por. Y para eso vinimos más o menos. Dale. No, qué crosa. Vinimos a visitar para eso. Dale, claro. Dale, boludo. Que lo que estábamos jugando con eso anoche. Dale. Y vamos a grabar con tu cámara. Dale, vamos. Pará. Saca eso ahí. Ahí no, tráele más allá. A ver. Ay, estamos entonces. Acá. Ahí. Más frío, tu mate. Ahí. Está frío. Más o menos. Ahí. Tengo un hambre. Ahí se deja, ahí está. Ahí está, ¿verdad? Feliz. Para. Yo tengo más experiencia. Pregunta. Bueno. ¿En serio lo que está pasando? Sí, en serio. Pregunta si hay alguien en esta casa. ¿Hay alguien en esta casa? No jodan, ¿en serio se movió? No jodan, ¿en serio? ¿Viste? Vos sos boluda. Ay, no. No, una joda. Ay, fue una joda, basta. No. ¿Puedo hacer con esto? Pero, boluda, disculpa. No. Si vos sabés, jodita. Ay, pero para empezar, bien. Pero si vos... Bueno, para clarizar. Eso se movió en serio. Sí. Hay que terminar. ¿Agarrar? No, mira. ¡Ey! No. ¡Ay, boluda! Dale, que tengo miedo, boluda.
Near the end of the footage, a wine glass was captured moving on its own just before the lights suddenly went out. The discovery shifted the mood instantly, and the group later admitted they had used a makeshift Ouija board earlier that night, which they believe triggered the activity. Because the original source of the video is unclear, very little else is known about what happened to the friends after the camera stopped rolling. It starts as a sweet moment between a father and his daughters, but the ending is honestly terrifying to watch. The vibe shifts instantly from wholesome to a total nightmare.
Oh. Nothing here. Nothing here. Oh my god, I'm so... Oh my god, look, legit goosebumps. Oh my god. What the is that?
The look of fear in the man's eyes and that ominous ghost in the background are definitely things kids never have to see. It's a complete shift from a family moment to pure dread. In the video, a Spanish man named Mario was home alone waiting for his wife when he encountered one of the most terrifying moments of his life. It is worth noting that this house had a completely clean history with 0 paranormal reports while it was on the market. This makes the following footage highly unexpected, yet it happened exactly as shown. While lying in bed, Mario heard the sound of things hitting the kitchen floor. He went to check and found several cups, which he had left on the drying rack, scattered on the ground despite being home alone. While he was standing there, another cup flew off the shelf right in front of him. This activity continued for hours, but stopped the moment his wife returned. Even though they were scared by the footage, they stayed in the house. Everything remained quiet until the following day, when his wife left for work again. Mario tried to relax, but the spirit in the house wasn't going to let that happen. A loud crash erupted right behind him, instantly putting him on edge. Fearing a potential break-in, he felt forced to investigate and headed toward the door where the noise originated. Mario went to check the room where the loud noise originated. As he opened the door, a second bang echoed, drawing his attention to the table where he and his wife usually played board games. His confusion turned to pure terror when a red chair slid toward him on its own. The following day, he sought a blessing from a local priest, but was told he needed more proof of an evil spirit. Rather than staying to gather evidence, Mario and his wife abandoned the house and moved into a small rental apartment. However, the ordeal wasn't over. On their second night at the new place, Mario had to return to the old house to pick up some essentials. It was during this final visit that the spirit delivered a parting message. Upon entering the house, Martio was met with another loud crash. This time, the interior was in total shambles. Furniture was flipped and scattered everywhere, looking like the aftermath of a massive tantrum. After consulting with experts, Martio learned that the spirit was tied specifically to that location. These types of entities often react with rage when residents move out. It was suspected that the widespread damage was a final display of anger from the ghost. Not long after, the property was sold, likely leaving the spirit with new people to target. In the Game Outdoors is a channel known for its waterfowl and upland bird hunts across North America. On February 16th, 2020, what began as a normal goose hunt suddenly turned into a confrontation.
Okay, well, we're illegal to hunt here. Got the camera on? Yeah. Hey, why are you to the 22? What was who? It's a 22. You're not allowed 22s here. Yeah.
Hey, we're really out of the city, like you said.
We're allowed to hunt here.
All right, I'm allowed to hunt over there.
Okay.
Go ahead. All right. Why are you backing up? Huh? Why are you backing up? You want to come to the other side of the fence and solve it? Go somewhere else. I will scare every bird away all day. Yeah. Good for you. Have fun. Really? What's unlawful about it? I'm standing on the other side of that fence and you guys are in my direction.
No, we're not.
I'll take our rates. I'm on. You're birds.
Dude, we're allowed to birds.
I really don't give a
Okay, well, we don't either, so off.
You guys are scared out of horses. Yeah, and you're scared about 22. You're a little bitch and I'm 22. Whoa. Because I asked you to stop.
Yes.
It cost thousands of dollars.
Soon after the hunt started, gunshots were heard close by, and they weren't aimed at geese, but toward the hunters. Alarmed, they began recording and went to check where the shots came from. There, they met an upset local man who claimed they were on the wrong property and said they were putting his horses in danger. The situation quickly became heated. The man waved a rifle, shouted insults, and threatened to scare away the birds, while the hunters calmly tried to explain they were hunting within legal limits. Even so, he kept insisting they didn't belong there.
We're down the hill.
Is it really necessary to let off 15 rounds at once?
Yeah, because we're trying to get geese.
Do we only allow one or two?
One of our hobbies. Like, we're not trying to... No, dude, this is... Yes, dude, but you only have to be 25 here and...
Yet you're allowed to do it.
Yes, okay.
I think you guys have better brains.
But we don't.
Next to pick a better spot. I honestly believe you guys could do better.
Like where?
Like anywhere else.
Okay.
Well, what?
Like, this is where the birds are. We're hunting here. We're allowed to hunt here.
Hey, we're on next. Sit down on the dual road and scare all the birds that way. Hey, whatever floats your boat. I'm not doing anything. I don't have one in my possession, do I?
So who's down there?
Nobody. Right after you said, wait till I come back?
And threatened us.
Wasn't it? Oh, true. It was probably just stomping. Yeah, it was stomping. Yeah. Okay, cool. No worries. Anyways, have a nice day.
We're not trying to up. We're not trying to horses up. We're just trying to birds. We're in the legal. Yes, we're in the legal limits. So we're gonna keep hunting here.
His threats kept getting louder, even while the hunters continued saying they were completely within their legal rights. The video ends without any violence.
I want you to off. Find a better place to go. Don't use that language. You just used the same word. You just told me in the same sense not to use the F word with the F word, and I'm a weak man.
Yeah, you are. You can't control your passion.
You gotta look up the regulations before you start running your mouth.
I really don't care about the regulations. You're not getting that.
Yeah, but we don't really care. We're gonna hunt where we're allowed to hunt.
You guys can't find a better place to hunt.
Well, if there's birds somewhere else.
Right. I'm gonna shoot a raccoon out of the tree.
Okay. Such a K moment.
I'll put it on the barbecue if you want. Yeah, well, just don't be in the background.
That's...
The encounter is a clear reminder that knowing the law is not only about following the rules, but also about having protection when others ignore them. In the wilderness, respect can make a big difference. While exploring near the seashore, someone captured footage of a large glowing orb hovering above the water. At first glance, it might seem like a camera reflection, but the sky was cloudy and there was no sunlight, making that explanation unlikely. The strange orb quickly sparked different theories, with some people believing it could be extraterrestrial in origin, while others linked glowing orbs to paranormal or interdimensional activity. The unusual sight left many viewers debating what the mysterious light could actually be. While walking through the forest, someone recorded a clip that later revealed something unusual high in the trees. Among the thick leaves, a faint shape seems to move, almost impossible to notice because it blends in so well with the surrounding branches. It's hard to tell exactly what it is. Some might think it's a creature with incredible camouflage, while others believe it could simply be shadows, light, and movement creating a strange illusion. A blurry photo taken years ago by the late Scott Carpenter shows what he believed was a Bigfoot, but the creature's appearance doesn't match the usual description. Instead of the typical ape-like look, the face appears oddly human, with features that resemble a mask covering the upper part of the face, while the chin, mouth, and jaw look distinctly human. Because of this unusual look, Carpenter suggested that Bigfoot might appear different depending on the region. The strange image left many people wondering whether it could be a regional variation of Bigfoot or something entirely different. Someone recorded a strange figure floating in the sky that appeared to look like a person wearing a long robe. The figure seemed to have its arms stretched forward, almost as if reaching out towards something. The unusual sight left many people confused and questioning what it could be. Some wondered if it might be a hologram, a trick of the light, or something more mysterious. A recording shows a wide field covered in tall grass where several people wearing protective gear appear to be investigating something unusual. 4 individuals dressed in white suits carefully examine an object on the ground, while 2 others in bright green protective outfits stand nearby holding a stretcher. Their equipment suggests the discovery could be dangerous, though it's unclear who they are or what organization they belong to. Soon, the group in white lifts a strange creature from the ground that seems to have a long, fish-like tail and places it onto the stretcher while the others secure it for transport. The person filming tries to zoom in, but the distance makes it hard to clearly identify the creature. The heavy protective gear and the secrecy of the situation raise many questions about how risky the creature might be to handle and what it actually is, leaving people to speculate whether it could be some unknown animal, a secret experiment, or something even more mysterious. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.